Good morning, dear children. I hope you are doing good. Children, today we will be starting with a new chapter in the literature part only, and the name of the chapter is The Stonecutter. Okay. So, children, this chapter deals with the power of satisfaction. That is the feeling of contentment. Okay, the feeling where you feel that whatever you have, you are satisfied with it. So we can say that this story is basically having all those content where you will come to know that whenever we assume something out of the skirts, or whenever we assume something or whenever we dream big, okay, but when you dream big, that is not at all bad. Okay, what things which hinder you is whenever you get something which is not in the parameter of your satisfaction level, then exactly what happens. So basically, children, here there is one man, he is the stone cutter. Okay, he do what? He cuts a big rock, and the pieces of those stones he uses for graveyard purpose. Now graveyard is that place where the people are buried. Okay, so he is normal man. Okay, he is a very kind of a very simple and a normal man who is living his life normally. Okay, but when he develops that greed, that is the greed of becoming rich, then when his first wish is completed, then he dreams of a second wish, then so on it happens, and then finally, you know what happened? He just get frustrated. Okay, he just get frustrated, and then he again wish to be the same that is a normal man. Okay, so this is the story which I am talking about. The story name is The Stonecutter. So without wasting any time, let us now begin with the story. I request you to kindly come to page number 120. Okay, please come to page number 120 and we will begin the chapter. Once upon a time, there lived a stonecutter. Every day he went to a great rock in the side of a big mountain and cut out slabs for gravestones or for houses. He understood very well the kinds of stones needed for different purposes, and as he was a careful workman, he had plenty of customers. For a long time he was happy and contented and asked for nothing better than what he had. Contented here means satisfied. Okay, I'll write the word meaning here. Right? So there was a stone cutter very long ago. There was a stone cutter. He used to do what? He used to cut the slabs of rock, mountain rock, and use those pieces of rock for gravestones, as gravestones for the graveyard or for the houses. And he was so brilliant in this art that he knew that which stone will fit where. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to tell is that he was a very normal man. He was leading a very normal life. Okay, till here we came to know this, that there was a man, he was a stone cutter, he was leading a very simple life, and his work was to cut the stones from the mountain and place those stones either for the house or for the grave purpose. Okay. Now in the mountain dwelt a spirit which appeared to men every now and then and helped them in many ways to become rich and prosperous. The stonecutter, however, had never seen this spirit and only shook his head with an unbelieving air when anyone spoke of it. But a time would come when he would change his opinion. Now see, there was a spirit. Okay, there was a spirit that lived in that area where he used to cut the stone. Okay, that is the mountain area. People used to say him that spirit do not harm anybody. Instead, it helps the poor people to become rich and prosperous. When people used to speak like this with him, he used to just take it as granted, and he used to say, Okay, so this is what this expression is. What he was just bluffing the things to which he was hearing, because he have not yet met that spirit. Okay, but we never know, right? The writer is saying that we never know. It might be that his opinion will change sooner. Okay. One day the stone cutter carried a gravestone to the house of a rich man and saw all sorts of beautiful things in the house, of which he had never dreamt or dreamed. Suddenly his daily work seemed to grow harder and heavier, and he said to himself, "Oh, if only I were a rich man and could sleep in a bed with silken curtains and golden tassels, how happy I should be." Now see, this stone cutter once went to a rich man's house. He was carrying the gravestone with him, and there he found what? He found beautiful sight of that palace or the house, and he was mesmerized with the beauty of the house as well as the things kept in the house. And then after seeing all those things, the greed started developing in him. Okay, when the greed started developing in him, he was losing his work enthusiasm. Okay, he was not so excited towards his work. That is, now his work seemed to be very hard working for him, or it was very hard for him to carry the stones. It felt that the stones, he felt that the stones were very heavier for him to carry. So basically what I'm trying to say is, he was not at all in the condition to merge himself with the hard work or with the work which he used to do in his day-to-day life. But now what is he thinking? He is thinking that this is a beautiful place, this is a beautiful house, see the riches here, right? What if everything like this would be mine? That is, now he had the dream of becoming what? Of becoming rich. At the sound of the voice, and a voice answered him, "Your wish is heard, a rich man you shall be." Now, it was just a dream. He just was talking to himself. The stone cutter was talking to himself, and the spirit, the spirit listened to it, and the spirit then told that your dream shall definitely become true. You shall definitely be a rich man soon. Okay? At the sound of the voice, the stone cutter looked around but could not see anybody. He thought it was all his fancy and picked up his tools and went home, for he did not feel inclined to work any more that day. But when he reached the little house where he lived, he stood still with amazement, for in place of his wooden hut stood a stately palace filled with splendid furniture, and most splendid of all was the bed. In every respect like the one he had envied, he was beside himself with joy, and his old life was soon forgotten. Now see children, whatever he dreamt, that is whatever the stone cutter dreamt, it came true, right? It became true. That day when he was just talking to himself, and when he just told that, what if I was a rich man? I would have slept on a beautiful bed with golden tassels, curtains, etc. And the spirit listened to his voice, and the spirit said that this wish shall be granted and it will be accomplished, right? And you will be a rich man soon, right? That time he did not, he just heard the voice, but he just avoided, because when he looked around, he did not find anybody who could tell him all these things, okay. There was no one standing there, okay. So he just took it like as granted, and he was busy with his work. Busy with his work in the sense, he was not in the mood to do his work. That day he was not so inclined towards his work. He was just, because his mood was gone. Looking at the riches of someone else, his mood was gone, because he was now, till now he was very joyful with his work, but now he is not feeling so joyful, because now that particular dream, or you can say the greed of becoming rich, is now in between his emotions and his work, right? So here he was not feeling like doing his work, and he did what? He planned to move off, that is, he planned to go to his home back. As soon as he reached his home, he found a palace instead of his little hut, was there, and all the furnitures were splendid. The palace was beautiful, right? The bed in the bedroom was as he dreamt. Okay, so he was mesmerized and he was amazed, surprised, shocked with all these things, and now he was believing this, that this is the reality. People were just saying me that there is a spirit who lives in what? In the mountain area. But now I also do believe that yes, that spirit have answered to my dream also. Okay. Here fancy means imagination, stately means magnificent, and envied means long to possess something. Okay. It was now the beginning of summer, and each day the sun blazed more fiercely. One morning, the heat was so great that the stonecutter could scarcely breathe, and he determined he would stay indoors till the sun set. He was rather dull, for he had never learned how to amuse himself, and was peeping through the closed blinds to see what was going on in the street, when a little carriage passed by, drawn by servants dressed in blue and silver. In the carriage sat a prince with a golden umbrella held over his head to protect him from the sun rays. Now see children, this stonecutter got what he wanted. That is, he got the house which he had dreamt. So we can say that he got his dream house. Okay. But when he was there, now he did not wanted to work. Okay, when he was rich enough, he did not wanted to work. So he was there in his home only. He used to just sit back in his home and enjoy his life. Now once what happened was, it was summer days and he was feeling hot. Okay, so he just peeped out and he was just busy in looking that what exactly is happening in the street, what is happening on the road. He did not wanted to go out, and he did not move out from the house, okay, from his house. So he just saw a carriage, right, and that carriage was carried by many servants, and a prince was sitting inside, and that prince was carrying a golden color umbrella to protect himself from the rays of sun. Now one more dream aroused in his heart, right, in his mind. And now this stonecutter wanted to be what? He wanted to be the prince, because when he saw the comfort of the prince, when he saw that luxury of the prince, now his mind is fluctuating, and now he want to compete whom? He want to compete the prince. Now he want to become what? He himself want to become the prince. Who? The stonecutter. Oh, if I were only a prince, said the stonecutter to himself, as the carriage vanished around the corner. Oh, if I were only a prince and could go in such a carriage and have a golden umbrella held over me, how happy I should be. So now, as I told you, that the greed of becoming prince is surrounding his emotions. Okay, so now he want to become as what the prince is, right? So he was just murmuring, he was just talking to himself, and the spirit heard it again, and this wish was also granted to him, that is to become the prince. So the first wish was what? The first wish, right? And right here, the first wish was to have a palace and become rich. Right, children? This is the first wish. The second wish was to become prince. To become what? To become prince. Page number 121. Kindly switch to page number 121. And a prince he was. Before his carriage rode one company of men and another behind it, servants dressed in scarlet and golden bore him along the coveted umbrella held over his head. He had everything his heart desired. Yet it was not enough. He still looked around for something to wish for, and when he saw that in spite of the water he poured on the grass, the rays of the sun scorched it, and that in spite of the umbrella held over his head each day, his face grew browner and browner, and he cried in anger, "The sun is mightier than I. Oh, if I were only the sun." Right? Now children, I will once again read this paragraph. Before his carriage rode one company of men and another behind it. Servants dressed in scarlet and gold bore him along. The coveted umbrella held over his head. Now see, you can see in the picture also here. You can see this in the picture. See this. The servants, right? They are dressed in scarlet. This is red color. It is also known as scarlet. Okay, so this is scarlet red. They are dressed here. This is the stone cutter. Here there is a servant who is carrying what? A golden umbrella, right? Here this carriage is driven by whom? By these two men. And see the luxury he is having. See this. See the luxury he is having with him, right? Everything, the servants and everything, right? So whatever he desired was accomplished, okay? But he was not satisfied with all these things, because again and again he was looking here and there and he wanted to wish more. See, this is why we believe, or our parents and elder persons always say us that we should be satisfied with what we have. We should never be greedy for anything. We should be satisfied for, because there are so many people who are not having that what we are having. So we are lucky enough because our parents have done so much for us, right? We are studying in good school, right? You are getting a good education, you are getting all what you want, you are getting good luxurious food, luxurious life you are living, right? Tasty food, luxurious life, right? Everything you are getting, good toys to play, good clothes to wear, right? Your parents do whatever possible for them to do for you, and they are doing the bestest which you could have. So you are not allowed to hurt the feelings of your parents. Why? Because your parents also want you to be happy, and they are giving you whatever you have. It is only because of your parents, right? So you should be satisfied with all the things you have with you, right? You should not desire something which is not good for you. That is, greed always is the worst outcome of whatever you desire. Okay, so whenever you have greed, it will definitely lead to a negative impact, right? So here this stone cutter, he is now a very greedy man. His desires are not accomplished, although they are accomplished by the spirit. Whatever he wants, he is getting, but yet he is not satisfied with it. Okay, so now while passing through, he thinks that although the servant is helping him to carry the golden umbrella on his head to protect him from the rays of sun, yet why the protection is given to him? So who is superior? The sun, right? So his third wish is what? The third wish is to become what? To become sun. Right? First he wanted to become rich. He wanted to have a palace of that particular rich man where he went to give the stone, right? Second, he wanted to become what? He wanted to become prince. And now on the third stage, he wanted to become what? He wanted to become sun. He wanted to become sun because he found that whenever he was passing through that road, he watered the plant, but the plant was yet not so appropriate, or it was not looking so good as it had to look. Why all these things were happening? He was also turning brown day by day. His skin tone was turning brownish day by day. Who is the responsible factor? The sun, of course. Why? Because it was so hot. It was so hot, he wanted the umbrella, the golden umbrella. He wanted to become the prince, wanted to go on the carriage. Now the super thing, that is the topmost thing here, is what? The competition with whom? With sun. Now this stone cutter desire is to become what? Is to become sun. And the mountain spirit answered, your wish is heard, the son you shall be. And the son he was, and he became son. Right? When he desired to be a son, he became what? Son. And the son he was, and felt himself proud in his glory. He shot his beams above and below, on earth and in heaven. He burnt up the grass in the fields and scorched the faces of princes as well as the poorer folk. But in a short time he began to grow tired of his might, for there seemed nothing left for him to do. See how bad he was turning bad day by day. Now when he have become what? He have become son, he have started doing what? He have started harassing the people. He have started harassing the nature. He was playing with the nature, right? He was burning the grass, the mountains, everything with the harmful rays. Why? Because now he is son. He was also back of the prince also. Many princes, he was just back of them. He was not even leaving the poor people. He was also back of them. Right? So he did not wanted anybody to be peaceful in their life. Why? Because he thought that no, I am the son. My glory is on the top level. I am everything. I am the protector. Right? So this thing was what? This ego. He was also having this ego problem. Right? Why? Because now he is the son. But after doing all these things, that is after torturing all the prince as well as the poor folks, now again he is what? He is dissatisfied. He is not satisfied and he is discontent and he want to do something new. Now let's know what he want. Discontent once more filled his soul, and when a cloud covered his face and hid the earth from him, he cried in his anger, does the cloud hold captive my rays, and it is mightier than I? Oh, I wish I was a cloud and mightier than any. Now see what happened was, when he was doing all these things, that is when he was torturing the people with his harmful rays, when he turned son and he was torturing the prince, he was playing with what? The grass, the nature, when he was torturing the poor folks, the people around in the village, when he was son, a cloud covered him. Okay, a cloud covered him. For example, if I say, see this, when he was a son, and all of a sudden a cloud covered him. Okay, when a cloud covered him, so he got what? He got angry. He got angry because he thought, oh my God, I am the son, and how could a cloud cover my face? I am not seen. So, is the cloud more bigger than me? Is the cloud more mightier than me? Who is mightier than me? I am the sun. But what? My glory is hidden by whom? It is hidden by the cloud. So it means that the cloud is mightier than me. So now he is planning and now he is dreaming of what? To become a cloud. So again his desire of becoming a cloud. So he said what? He said that I wish that I was a cloud and mightier than any. So children, what is his fourth wish? His fourth wish is to become what? To become a cloud, right? To become a cloud. And the mountain spirit answered, your wish is heard, a cloud you shall be. And a cloud he was, and lay between the sun and the earth. He caught the sun's beam and held them, and to his joy the earth grew green again and flowers blossomed. But that was not enough for him, for days and weeks he poured forth rain till the rivers overflowed their banks and the crops of rice stood in water. Towns and villages were destroyed by the power of the rain. Only the great rock on the mountainside remained unmoved. The cloud was amazed at the sight and cried in wonder, it is the rock then mightier than me. Oh, if I were only the rock. Now children, see, he is such a stupid man that his desires are not coming to the end. He is desiring more and more, right? So here children, when he was made cloud, now when he is cloud, he thought, oh wow, I am the cloud. I am having that right. I can hide sun, I can hide earth, I can move here to there. I can carry water in me. I will pour water till certain time. It was very good. Why? Because everything turned green, the flower blossomed. But you know, the limit is always to be considered, right? When you have something in limit, you will definitely have respect to whatever you have. But when the things goes over limit, then it is worst. Now here when he was the cloud, when the stone cutter became cloud, first in certain days, for some days in a certain period, it was very good. Why? Because the grass was green, the pouring of rain was very good, and it was acceptable by the people also. But when the rain was not stoppable, that is unstoppable rain, and it led to what? It led to floods. And when the river were like overflowing, the lakes were overflowing, the lakes were overflowing, the rain was not at all controllable, it was not at all stoppable. So what happened? The condition of the village or the place was growing worse day by day. People were getting what? People were afraid, people were in danger, they were running here and there, right? They were just asking for help, they were seeking help, they were praying to God for their safety. So here he thought that I, being a cloud, I have so much of strength that I have shaken everyone. Everyone is running here and there. I am so mightier, I am so strong that see what I am, right? Everyone is running here and there. They are just seeking for help. They are begging for their life. But what is not moving? The mountain rock. That is not moving. So now he wanted to become what? He wanted to become a mountain. See children, here when everyone was seeking for help, when everyone was running here and there to beg for their life, he was very happy. He was very happy. Why? Because his attitude level was growing again and again. His attitude level was on peak. But as soon as he saw the rock, his ego was again hurt. Why his ego was hurt? Because he was thinking, oh my God, something is mightier than me. I am a cloud. Being a cloud, I am destroying everything. Everybody is running here and there. It means that I have that effect, right? People are like afraid. I have that power of drenching. The pouring of the rain is so much that people are running here and there. But what is not moving is that rock. So it means that that rock is more valuable than me. So now his fifth wish, right? His fifth wish is to become what? To become a rock. A strong rock. Okay? And again his desire was completed. The mountain spirit again accomplished his desire, and he became what? He became rock. And a rock he was, and gloried in his power. Proudly he stood, and neither the heat of the sun nor the force of the rain could move him. This is better than all, he said to himself. But one day he heard a strange noise at his feet, and when he looked down to see what it could be, he saw a stone cutter driving tools into his surface. Even as he looked, he could feel himself tremble, and soon a great block broke off and fell to the ground. Then he cried in wrath, "It is a mere child of earth, mightier than a rock? Oh, if I were only a man!" So, see, when he became what? When he became a rock, he was very happy. For some time he was very happy. He was thinking, oh my God, I am so strong. I am so strong. Nothing can hinder me. Not even the rays of the sun. Not even the pouring of the rain. Nothing can hinder me. I am very strong. I am mightier. This world is mine. I am the king. So this ego, this attitude was full, right? He was full of ego and attitude, right? So For some days it was very good. But one day another stone cutter came, right? And he brought his tools along with him. So he started his work. Definitely, if he was a stone cutter, he will definitely do what? He will cut the stones with the tool, right? And he was doing this, that is, he was cutting the stone with his tools, and this made him angry again. Wrath means what? Anger, okay? So this made him angry again, and he said, what? It means what? I am rock, I am strong, but yet I am not having that privilege. Why am I not having that privilege? Why? Because a man is cutting me. See, one piece from me, that is one piece from my rock, have fallen on the ground. It means what? The man is mightier than me. Now his wish is what? The sixth wish. His sixth wish is to become what? To become a man. See this. Finally, he wanted to become what? A man. Here, he started as a man, right? He was what? He was a stone cutter, right? He was a stone cutter. He started as a simple man. See, he started as a simple man, then he became what? He became rich, then he wanted to become prince, then sun, cloud, rock, and again the final stage. He again wished of becoming what? Of becoming a man. And again the mountain spirit answered, and it said, your wish is heard, a man once you shall be. And a man he was once again, and by the sweat of his brow he toiled again at his trade of stone cutting. His bed was hard and his food scanty, but he had learned to be satisfied with it, and did not long to be something or somebody else. And as he never asked for things he did not have or desired to be greater and mightier than other people, he was happy at last and never again heard the voice of the mountain spirit. Right? So children, this is a very beautiful story, because see, this man, he started as a man. Okay, this man, the stone cutter, he started as a normal man, a mango man, you can say, aam admi, right? But his desires, his greed of becoming mightier and strong developed his mind to get worse day by day, right? And when he found that all the things which he desired is accomplished, but he was not at all satisfied, then at last he wanted to be the man, a simple man. And the spirit answered, and he was turned into what? His wish was accomplished, and he was turned into a simple man. Here he was having what? He was not having that soft bed which he used to have when he became a rich man or a prince. He was having a hard bed, right? A hard bed. He was not having the food, delicious, tasty, different kind of food which he used to eat when he was rich and when he became prince. No. Now he is not having proper food, and even the quantity of food is not appropriate to feed himself to the satisfaction level, right? But he was happy. Why he was happy? Because now he have known the true value of life. It means that now he is free from all the desires. He is satisfied and contented in whatever he is having. At least he is not having any kind of competition with anybody. He is only having what he have and is satisfied with it. So children, here we have come to the end of the story. I hope the story was understood to you, and it was also nice, and it is a very good story because it has so much to learn from it, right? So much to learn. So the moral of the story is that the greed, we should always leave the greed, and we should always cherish to what we have, right? We should always be satisfied with all the things which is provided to us by our parents, and we should not greed for anything. That is, we should not have greedy nature, right? So I hope it is understood to you. Till then, take care, stay safe and stay at home. Thank you to watch. Thank you once again.